Zain everyone and welcome you back. Yesterday I have started a new chapter that's from the contemporary world politics, that was international organization. See, international organization doesn't mean only United Nations organization. Generally today the students and the others they feel that if you can talk about an international organization it means we are talking about United Nations organization. But there are so many organizations which working internationally across the world. So in my previous module yesterday, in this particular chapter, already I discussed discuss in details about the League of Nations. That was the first ever international organization, was formed in 1920 under the 14 points program of then President of USA Woodrow Wilson. Right? And in 1920 or 1919, when the First World War came to an end, this organization, the League of Nations, which continued till the beginning of the Second World War in 1939. There was some inheritance defect in the League of Nations. That was the reason you can say that League of Nations was not able to stop Second World War. And most importantly, they don't have their own army or all those biggest power. They are not the members of League of Nations. Even if the founding member or the founder of League of Nations, United States of America, was also not the member of League of Nations. And many more other things were there which already I discussed about the weaknesses of the League of Nations and why the League of Nations failed. Right? So 1939 the Second World War started. One side it was the fascist power, the others all the democratic power. They wanted to democratic country, they wanted to check the fascist aggressions. Right? And the wars being started between the Axis power and the Allied power. Right, from 1939, which continued till 1945. But all this mighty power, all the great power, you can say, now they started realizing the fact in 1941-42 that we cannot afford third world war, and world war is not going to affect, you can say, only the armed forces of each and every nation, but in other ways the civilians, the economy, culture, and so many other things. That's why in any way it is to be criticized, the world war to be criticized. So in order to avoid the third world war, all this great power, you can say, USA, United Kingdom, and Russia, later it was China and other European nations also, and Australia and New Zealand also, they started thinking for a new organizations to be set up, which I discussed in details. It was the joint effort of the three great leaders of the Second World War: Franklin D. Roosevelt, the President of United States of America; Winston Churchill, the Prime Minister of United Kingdom, right? And it was Joseph Stalin from Russia, then USSR. All three great leaders, they wanted to go for an international organization, and from 1941, the first meeting was being held in 1941, and then after, you can say, I have discussed in details about the evolution of international organizations or evolution of United Nations organizations in detail, right? So quickly I will be going through the timelines. In 1941 August, signing the Atlantic Charter by US President Franklin D. Roosevelt and Prime Minister Winston Churchill. Later, it was 1942 January, 26th Allied Nation fight against the Axis power meet in Washington DC to support the Atlantic Charter and sign the declaration by United Nations. 1943 December, Tehran Conference declarations. The three power US, Britain and Soviet Union. It means Franklin D. Roosevelt, Winston Churchill and Stalin, all three together join their hands. 1945 Feb, Yalta Conference, the big three, Roosevelt, Churchill and Stalin, decide to organize a United Nations conference on proposed world organization. Mean the skeletons is already being ready, and they wanted to go for the making of charter of United Nations organization, or otherwise known as the constitutions for United Nations organization, which could be you can say the world parliament, and which could rule the entire world. April May in the similar year 1945, the 2-month long United Nations conference on international organization at San Francisco, United States of America, was held. 1945 June 26, signing of UN Charter by 50 nations. Poland signed on 15th of October. So that was the 51st original founding member, and India was also one of the founding member of United Nations organization, though India was not independent at that particular period of time. 1945 24th of October, hence finally United Nations was being formed, and from that particular day, the 24th October 1900, 24th October every year is being celebrated as UN Day, right? So now in details, this till this thing already I have discussed. Now in details I am going to discuss about why United Nations organization was being formed. So the United Nations organization has four basic purpose why it was formed. The first and the foremost things already I told in my previous modules also. These were the basic objective that there was for need for an international organization to keep peace throughout the world. They wanted to avoid Third World War, very straightforward. To develop friendly relations among all the nations, because by that time you can say in the post Second World War, large many countries which were being ruled by the colonial powers declares as independent country, so that हर एक country एक साथ फ्रेंडली रिलेशनशिप के साथ एक साथ रहें और उसको देख रेख करने के लिए इंटरनेशनल ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस की जरूरत है. दैट कुड बी यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन टू हेल्प नेशंस वर्क टुगेदर टू इम्प्रूव देयर लाइव्स ऑफ द पुअर पीपल, to conquer hunger, because that was these things were the basic problem, the social and economic problem persistent you can say in Afro-Asian country and even if in Europe. Disease and illiteracy. You may surprise why I'm talking about disease. Even if you know about World Health Organization, this is the time of the pandemic corona, in which the WHO World Health Organization played one of the very important role. And what exactly that WHO it played the role? It tried to eliminate all such type of disease and all such type of, you can say, viruses and attack of the virus and disease across the world. So World Health Organization was also being formed. That was also in the UN Charter. Illiteracy works on against illiteracy and to encourage respect for each other's rights and freedom, to be a center for harmonizing the action of the nation to achieve its own goal. So these are the basic objective why United Nations, why there was for need for an international organization or United Nations organization, right? And the United Nations, finally the United Nations organization was formed with these four main purpose or objective. Next, the 8 Millennium Development Goals. These are also basic object. You can say the goal or the objective. Through this objective and their work, they wanted to fulfill these goals. What they dreamed about. What are they? To eradicate the extreme poverty and hunger across the world. Basically, you can find out the countries from Africa, they are underdeveloped country, and more or less you can see the poverty and hunger, both the things you can see over there. So that the basic objective of the Millennium Goal was to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger from across the world, to achieve universal primary education. And because of this, in India also we have implemented this. Now it become the part of the fundamental rights, free and compulsory elementary education till the age of 14. To promote gender equality, there was gender differentiation was there, so that we started empowering women, or the feminist movement being started, feminism being started, to provide gender equality across the world. To reduce child mortality. What child mortality rate? The death of you can say the child below the age of 14 per thousand birth is known as child mortality rate. To reduce the child mortality rate, at the same time to reduce the infant mortality rate also, they work for the reductions of the infant mortality rate, and the reductions of, we can say, or elimination of maternity mortality. These are all the things comes under HDI, Human Development Indexes, which looks after HDI being looked after by UNDP, United Nations Development Program or Project. It improves the maternal health of mothers, you can say, which I talks about. To combat HIV, the disease like HIV, the viruses like AIDS, malaria and other diseases. Even today also, you knew it very well, dear friends, that World Health Organization, WHO, played one of the very important role in trying to eliminate or trying to minimize the impact of coronavirus across the world, to ensure environmental sustainability. That was also one of the basic objective, because overall you can say what else the other economic and the other development, you can go ahead with those development, but at the end you need to work for environmental sustainability, and that's why from time to time, so you can say the Earth Summit being organized by United Nations organization, one of which was Rio de Janeiro, which is said to be very important Earth Summit, right? And the programs and policy which was being formulated in Rio de Janeiro, even still, which is under formulations, and in the rest of the Earth Summit, only you revise those regulations which was being passed in the Rio de Janeiro Summit. Right. So again, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, otherwise known as SDGs, to transform our world. Goal number 1: no poverty, zero hunger, and this is for the 21st century. These goals for the 21st century, and which already I told that was for the millennium goal, and this is for 21st century's goal. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitations to be provided to each and everyone across the world, affordable and clean energy. That's why now each and every nations, they are moving towards, you can say, renewable sources of energy, because the renewable sources of energy hardly create any pollutions, like hydroelectricity, and renewable sources of energy are not non-traditional. That's why you started you were going for, you can say, hydroelectricity project, wind energy, then tidal energy, then geothermal energy, solar energy. These are all these clean. These are all known as clean energy that you have started using. Decent work and economic growth, industries, innovations and infrastructure. 3I. It's let's stress on 3I. Industries, innovations and infrastructure. Reduce inequalities among the nation. Sustainable cities and communities. Responsible consumption and production. Climate action. Life below water. Life on land. Peace and justice. Strong institutions. Partnership to achieve all the goals. So these are otherwise known as 17 sustainable goals which United Nations organization presently working on. So if you can see, like our constitutions, the Indian constitution is known as a lively documents, right? Why? Because it's keep on changing according to the need of the hour and the situation. So that so many amendment and the modifications being done in last 60 or 70 years, right? 1950 the Indian constitution is made, and from 1950 till date, it's 70 years. In 70 years, more than 100 times the constitution is being amended or modified. So like that, United Nations organization also not rigid. Like League of Nations was very rigid in terms of its rules and regulations. That's why that was also one of the reasons that League of Nations failed. But United Nations organization is very flexible in terms of its charter, so that as per the need of the hour, you can make changes in terms of its goals, objectives and each and everything, right? So this is all about the millennium goals and objective. Now the next important thing that we are going to discuss, this already I talked about, but still just I'll just put a highlights on this. Evaluation. It was established in 1945, immediately after the Second World War. United Nations was set up through signing of United Nations Charter by 51 countries, and India was also one of the 51 country founding member. It tried to achieve what the League of Nations could not or unable to do in between First and the Second World War. The UN's objective is to prevent international conflict and to facilitate cooperations among the states. It was founded with the hope that it would act to stop the conflicts between states accelerating into war, and if war broke out, to limit the extent of hostility. And fortunately, credit goes to United Nations organizations that since 1945, since its inception, the world has not seen the Third World War. Furthermore, since conflict often arose from the lack of the social and economic development, UN was intended to bring countries together to improve the prospects of social and economic development across the world. So the basic objective was not only to prevent the war, also you can say socio-economic development. That's why there United Nations organization also having a specialized organ or agencies to look after socio-economic development across the world, right? That's known as ECOSOC or UNESCO, right? It looks after even cultural aspects of the world also. So the basic objective United Nations organization is खाली war prevent करना नहीं था या economic development नहीं था, वो चाहता था कि इतना जो बड़ा दुनिया है, let's all the entire world you can say to make it a global village, एक छोटा सा गांव जैसे बना दी जाए, and there should be cultural assimilations across the world, trade, the you can say the boundary for each and every countries needs to be open for the international trade and so on. So the WTO, World Trade Organization, was also being formed, which is also one of the specialized agencies of United Nations Organization. So the UN का जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है बहुत ब्रॉड ऑब्जेक्टिव था, लीग ऑफ नेशन का ऑब्जेक्टिव बहुत नैरोअर ऑब्जेक्टिव था, राइट. सो यूएन अपने जो ऑब्जेक्टिव, अपना जो चार्टर है, एंड एक इंडिपेंडेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जैसे काम किया, किसी का भी इन्फ्लुएंस से नहीं, दो अ लिटिल बिट it's being influenced by United States of America or all those 5 permanent members of the Security Council, but still it's an independent organ and it played a very important role, at least for the developing country and underdeveloped country. It helps in each and every respect to the developing and underdeveloped, because United Nations के अंदर ढेर सारे एजेंसीज हैं एंड ऐसा कोई चीज़ नहीं बच नहीं रह जाता है जो कि एजेंसीज उसको देखते ना हो, राइट. So like if you can see that United Nations organizations looks after so many things. It looks after the external aggressions, so that there should not be any war. It looks after the cultural aspect. It looks after the economy or the trade development. At the same time, it looks after the cultural integrity, languages, and so many other things. Even HRC, United Nations Human Rights Commissions, it looks after human rights. It has ICJ, International Court of Justice. So many things are there. United Nations Organization, so many things. Maritime means जो सी का जो एरिया है उसको भी कैसे प्रॉपरली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड हो एंड अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड हर कंट्री उसमें फ्री मूवमेंट मिले, उसको भी देखने के लिए है. टेली कम्युनिकेशन के लिए है, स्पेस के लिए, ऐसा कोई एजुकेशन के लिए है, राइट. ऐसा कोई फील्ड नहीं बचा है जिसमें कि यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का एजेंसीज और ऑर्गन्स काम ना करते हों. Initially it started with 51 and it's being said that currently United Nations Organization having more than 193 member state. 1948 के बाद so many countries they got independence from the imperial country, and 1967 के बाद that's the year otherwise known as the year for Africa and Asia. More than 27 countries they got independence and later on they become the members of United Nations Organization. So currently United Nations Organization 193 member states. These included almost all the independent states, and also it promote democracy across the world. In UN General Assembly, this is I will be discussing in details what exactly the General Assembly. Like your parliament, UN General Assembly is the world parliament, is acted as a world parliament. All members have one vote, that we will be discussing in details. All the members country they send their representative to UN General Assembly. In the UN Security Council, this is very powerful organs of United Nations Organization, and or otherwise known as the executive body. All those regulations, ultimately the regulation being passed by General Assembly, but finally it being rectified by the Security Council. So there are 5 permanent members. I will be discussing in details in later period of time. That's United States of America, Russia. Earlier it was USSR. USSR became the permanent member, but after the disintegration of the USSR, now it goes to Russia, United Kingdom, that's England you can say, France and China. These states were selected as the permanent members as they were the most powerful immediately after the World War II. The UN is the most visible public figure and representative heads is the Secretary General. Like who is the head of my country? The head of my country is President. He is the nominal executive, and Prime Minister is the real executive. So like that, someone should be there who need to who is the head of this particular organization. और जितना भी एजेंसीज हों, जितना भी ऑर्गन्स हों, पूरे को देखने वाला कोई एक हेड चाहिए, right? Or you can say otherwise known as the President or the Prime Minister of the world. So that was Secretary General. So UN consists of many different structures and agencies which work often, which we will be discussing in details. War and peace and difference between the member states are discussed in General Assembly as well as in the Security Council. From time to time, the regulations for the entire world, the problems and the disputes and all the things of the entire world, from time to time the regulation being passed in General Assembly and the law being made. Like जैसे legislative assembly, legislature जैसे हैं इंडिया में, जैसे legislature हैं, law making body जैसे parliament है, तो उसका भी law making body general assembly होता है. Social and economic issues are dealt with many agencies including World Health Organization, just I talked about, and every day you might have watched in the news the bulletins of World Health, WHO, World Health Organizations. The United Nations Development Program, just a few minutes before I talked about HDI, Human Development Index, which is being determined HDI being made by UNDP. The United Nations Human Rights Commission, just few minutes before I was talking about UNHRC, and this is the UNHRC is the watchdog of human rights across the world. The United Nations High Commission for Refugee, the United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, UNESCO, and so on. So many organizations were there, which we will be discussing in details in later period of time. So this is what makes United Nations organizations the most powerful organs across the world. Already it's the 20 minutes past, you can say. I'll be taking another 5-7 minutes, right? So now I'm going to discuss, we'll start with the organs. Maybe that if it's possible I can complete all the organs today itself, else we'll be discussing in the next class also. We'll continue with the organs in the next class also. So let's discuss with the organs. There are 6 main organs, you can say, that United Nations organizations are having. Like in India, if you can see how many organs are there? 3. क्या है? Legislatures, executive and judiciary. And these are the 3 pillars of democracy, and the 4th pillar otherwise known as your election commission. बट organs 3 हैं. हम इलेक्शन कमीशन का चौथा पिलर लेते हुए चलते हैं. लेजिस्लेचर्स क्या करता है? लेजिस्लेचर्स कैन मेक द रूल्स. तो ऐसे भी यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को हम क्या बोलते हैं? वर्ल्ड गवर्नमेंट बोलते हैं. तो उनके पास भी तो ऐसा कोई ऑर्गन्स होगा, दोज हु कैन मेक्स रूल्स एंड रेगुलेशंस फॉर एंटायर वर्ल्ड. सो वही एक ऑर्गन हो सकता है. देन सेकंड वन इज व्हाट? एग्जीक्यूटिव. And who is the chief executive? The president is the chief executive. So even United Nations organization also having the executive body, like the Security Council and the Secretariat, the head of the Secretary, the Secretary General. Those are going to execute all the rules and regulations being passed by General Assembly and all those agencies and organs. That's their role, you can say, to execute all those rules and regulations across the world. Right? Then now the next one is the judiciary. So even United Nations, suppose in case of any disputes inside the country among people or the states, right, or the 2 group of people, or in between center and state, what we will do? We go to court. In India, we are having 3-tier court system. The first one is the district court or the session court and the civil court. Then you can go to the high court, that is in the state level, and at the apex court is otherwise known as the Supreme Court. सो अगर इंटरनेशनली अगर इंडिया एंड यूएस के बीच में कोई लड़ाई हो, या इंडिया एंड चाइना के बीच में, किसी के भी इस टाइप का सच टाइप ऑफ लड़ाई हो, सच टाइप ऑफ डिस्प्यूट्स इफ अराइजेस, तो कुछ तो होगा, कुछ तो आर्बिट्री सिस्टम होगा, कुछ तो आर्बिट्रेशंस होंगे. सो यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस यू कैन से प्लेड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल और a mediator role, you can say, and settle those disputes amicably. So even United Nations organization, they are having the courts also, ICJ, International Court of Justice. So जैसे एक कंट्री को चलाने के लिए यू आर हैविंग सो मेनी ऑर्गन्स, यू कैन से, राइट, लेजिस्लेचर्स, एग्जीक्यूटिव, जुडिशियरी, then you are having the financial organs, like if you can take the example of your country, the finance and all those things are being looked after by whom? RBI, all the banks and financial sectors. Elections and all those things being managed by whom? The election commission, that is the 4th pillar of Indian democracy. So like that, United Nations organizations also having so many organs which looks after the work of United Nations organizations and the agencies across the world. And the first and the important one is General Assembly. General Assembly, otherwise known as World Parliament. Suppose, and presently, suppose if you are having 193 members or 95 members, each member's country can send 5 members. हर एक मेंबर कंट्री 5 मेंबर्स अपने कंट्री से नॉमिनेट करके कहाँ भेजते हैं? जनरल असेंबली में भेजते हैं. बट जब भी ये वोटिंग राइट्स मिलेगा, ये 5 क्या करेंगे? ऑन एनी रेजुलेशन इफ दे वांटेड टू वोट, दे आर सपोज टू कास्ट ओनली 1 वोट. मैंने 5 मेंबर्स वाले 5 होंगे, लेकिन जब वोट देना होगा तो पांचों मिलकर 1 वोट देंगे. वोट ऑलवेज बी गिवन फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ द कंट्री, नॉट फ्रॉम द साइड ऑफ दोज मेंबर्स. So the General Assembly, the main objective of the organs of the United Nations organization, it includes all its members. It's many, from time to time you can say, that's why I was talking about the General Assembly is otherwise known as the World Parliament, right? It played very important role in terms of that. It may discuss any matter arising under UN Charter and make recommendations to the UN member. मगर कोई भी अगर चीज़ डिस्कशन होगा तो पहला ही डिस्कशन यहीं पे होता है, राइट? जैसे कुछ भी अगर इश्यूज होता है तो इंडियन लेजिस्लेचर्स लाइक इन द पार्लियामेंट में, चाहे लोकसभा और राज्यसभा में, उसको 0 आवर्स एंड बाकी टाइम पे उसको उठाया जाता है वहाँ पे. देयर इज क्वेश्चन आर सपोज टू बी रेज्ड देयर. So here also in the similar way, except on the disputes or the situation which is being considered by the Security Council, otherwise all the recommendations or the things are supposed to be made by the UN members in General Assembly. In the Assembly, each nation, large or small, has only one vote. चाहे वो यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स ऑफ अमेरिका हो, और वेरी स्मॉल कंट्री लाइक क्यूबा हो या नेपाल हो, और उससे भी छोटे कंट्री हों, each and every country they are having only one voting rights, and all the votes are having its equal value. It means that the system or the organizations being made in a democratic manner with democratic value. The assembly meets every year from September to December. जैसे हमारे पार्लियामेंट का सेशन होता है, समर टाइम में सेशन होता है, विंटर सेशन होता है, मानसून सेशन होता है, बजट सेशन होता है, राइट. ऐसे ही यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन यूएन का जनरल असेंबली का भी अपना सेशन होता है फ्रॉम सितंबर टू दिसंबर के बीच में. स्पेशल सेशन किसी भी टाइम बुलाया जा सकता है at the request of the Security Council or request of UN Secretary General. The work of the General Assembly is also carried out by its 6-man committee. जैसे आपका पार्लियामेंट है, लोकसभा में भी बहुत सारे कमिटी है, स्टैट्यूटरी कमिटी बनाया गया है, पार्लियामेंट्री जॉइंट पार्लियामेंट्री कमिटी है, JPCs हैं. ऐसे जनरल असेंबली में बहुत सारे कमिटी बनाया जाता है, एंड दोज कमिटीज आर सपोज टू लुक आफ्टर ऑल दोज इशूज which is supposed to be discussed in UN General Assembly. So 6 main committee are like the Human Rights Council, 6 men council, the Human Rights Council, and other subsidiary bodies, and UN Secretariat. So these are all the things which you can say. And the UN General Assembly is, already I told you that, otherwise known as the World Parliament, because all the rules and regulations and the regulations are usually being passed in UN General Assembly, right? After that it being transferred to other organs. So this is all about the UN General Assembly. Now I am going to discuss about the Security Council, right? So the second and the most important organ of United Nations Organization, Security Council. The Security Council is the primary responsibility under the Charter for maintaining peace and security. It can be conveyed at any time whenever peace is threatened. एंड ये ऐसा नहीं है कि जैसे जनरल असेंबली का तो स्पेसिफिक टाइम है, दो वो भी बुलाया जा सकता है, जब चाहे बुला सकते हैं, लेकिन सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल को कभी भी बुलाया जा सकता है, जब भी नीड होता है इमीडिएटली बुलाया जाता है. ऑल द मेंबर्स ऑफ द स्टेट्स आर ऑब्लाइज्ड टू कैरी आउट इट्स ओन डिसीजन. जो भी जितना ही मेंबर्स होंगे, सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल 15 मेंबर्स होते हैं. आई विल बी टॉकिंग इन डिटेल्स. व्हेन अ थ्रेट टू द पीस इज ब्रॉट बिफोर द काउंसिल, इट यूजुअली फर्स्ट आस्क द पार्टीज टू reach agreement by a peaceful means. If fighting breaks out, the council try to secure a ceasefire among the parties. It may then send the peacekeeping operations. I was talking about, you might remember, लीग ऑफ नेशन के पास इनहेरिट एंड डिफेंड में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या था? लीग ऑफ नेशन के पास ओन आर्मी नहीं था, लेकिन यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के पास अपना आर्मी है. अक्रॉस द वर्ल्ड जो भी मेंबर्स कंट्री हैं वो अपना स्पेशल आर्म फोर्सेस विद आर्टिलरीज एंड ईच एंड एवरीथिंग यूनाइटेड नेशंस को दिया जाता है, एंड दे आर अदरवाइज नोन एज यूएन पीस कीपिंग फोर्सेस. तो जहाँ भी ये जरूरत होता है तो यूएन पीस कीपिंग मिशंस और द फोर्सेस आर सपोज टू सेंड इन ऑर्डर टू रिस्टोर पीस. The council has 15 members, already I told you, and 5 permanent members. Who are the 5 permanent members? China, France, Russian Federations, United Kingdom, and United States of America. Now, the rest of the Asian country and the other country, the powerful country like Australia, like Brazil, like Canada, India, China, right? These are the countries those who are asking for the permanent membership. South Africa. These are 6 powerful countries, or you can say the country those who are having huge contributions in United Nations organizations. They are also demanding or asking for the permanent member seat in UN Security Council. Right? Recently, the elections being conducted in which, see, there are 15 members, so 5 permanents and 10 are non-permanent members. Those 10 non-permanent members usually being elected for 2 years. And recently, the elections being conducted in which India got the temporary members in UN Security Council also for 2 years. The other 10 are elected by the General Assembly on the basis of the geographical representation for 2 years term. I told you, in इस एरिया से, हमारा साउथ ईस्ट एशिया से जो भी वोटिंग हुआ था उसमें इंडिया गॉट दैट पर्टिकुलर सीट. Decisions requires 9 votes except on procedural questions. A decision cannot be taken if there is a negative vote by a permanent member. That's known as veto power. So जो वोटिंग राइट्स होता है सिक्योरिटी काउंसिल में जो पास की जाती है, जैसे भी जो भी किया जाता है, इसमें मेजोरिटी वोट्स मिलना चाहिए. कोई भी डिसीजन के 9 वोट मिनिमम चाहिए होता है. लेकिन कोई भी अगर अपना वीटो मीन्स नेगेटिव अथॉरिटी, नेगेटिव पावर को यूज की जाती है. अगर कोई भी परमानेंट मेंबर्स अगर मना कर देता है, अपना नेगेटिव पावर यूज करता है, वीटो पावर यूज करता है, तो इवन इफ ऑल द मेंबर्स ऑफ यूनाइटेड नेशंस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जनरल असेंबली का पूरा 195 है तो 194 may say yes to that particular bill. All 14 members from Security Council they may say yes to that particular bill. लेकिन अगर एक भी country suppose permanent members of the Security Council if they say no and use the veto power, वो bill नहीं पास हो सकता और resolution पास नहीं हो सकता है. The Council also makes recommendations to the General Assembly on the appointment of the new Secretary General and on the admissions of the new members to United Nations Organization. Means जितना major decision होता है, major decisions being taken by UN Security Council, right? So this is all about the evolution of United Nations Organization. Already I discussed about, right? I discussed about why United Nations Organization being formed, objectives of United Nations Organization, then its goals, the Millennium Goals, and already I've started the discussion of the organs of United Nations Organization, in which out of the 6 organs already I've discussed about UN General Assembly and the Security Council. In the next class we are going to discuss the rest 4 organs and the agencies of United Nations Organization. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you and God bless you. Stay safe.